Good morning, guys. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining me today. It's raining here. It's Wednesday in New York, October 8th, 2025. Guys, this is a serious topic. I put your gypsy up there, but let's talk about this, okay? So, on my other channel, everybody has a story to tell with Toddy One Skip. I'm covering the Whitaker family, which is an inbred family from Odd, West Virginia. Mark Leda from Soft White Underbelly brought them to our attention on YouTube. And for about a year and a half, probably a little bit more, I've been following the Whitaker family. They've always fascinated me. I watched them before, but I mean, I've been reporting on them now. So on my other channel, there's a bunch of stuff that's going on with the Whitaker family that I'm following over there. And I came across a woman that is over there trying to help the situation. And she's made herself known. So people, of course, have sent me information on this person. And I looked her up and I spoke with her. And she has, I don't know how to put this because I want you guys to hear what I'm saying without jumping the gun to who she is. So, or what kind of character she is. So, because the issue is rehoming children. Rehoming children. Now, let me tell you what that is. You have a private adoption. You've adopted a kid. You've gone through everything you've gone through. And your kid has problems. Your kid becomes difficult. Maybe it's no longer a two-parent home. Maybe now it's a single family home, and maybe the parents are overwhelmed and they just can't. And they're looking for alternatives. What can I do? What do I do? I'm in too deep for whatever reason. Listen, I don't think that you rehome children. I think that you try to learn your child, but before you definitely do something that you can't take back, I think there should be something. I don't know what that something looks like, but I don't think it looks like this. So rehoming children is kind of dark web stuff. Now, I'm going to show you a video that's probably 20 years old, but again, I was looking into this person, and this person knows who they are. They were stupid, and they said, listen, I was stupid. I didn't get paid for this. I didn't traffic anybody. I wasn't charged with anything. I was somebody who adopted a child this way. I was looking to adopt a child, and somebody had a child for me to adopt. It was rehoming. It worked in my favor. It's been a blessing for me. Because of that, I started being a moderator and kind of introducing parents to soon to be parents, and in a way of helping a child find a loving home if that home that they were in is no longer loving to them. And unfortunately, as you know, there are people that have other alternatives. It could be money, because they want to get money from the state, so therefore they have their child, or a lot of children, and or it's sexual, which is that indeed. It is trafficking, no matter how you look at it, because there's nobody coming in and overseeing the children and how they're doing. The children are just stuck somewhere where maybe nobody even knows they exist. So this is not, supposedly it's not as prevalent as it was, but I don't know that. And when I found out about it, I said, holy shit. Like, how is this? How could this be? I understand. I'm not stupid. I understand that there are horrific things that happen in this world, but some sort of business again. And this person, I don't mean to bring that over to them. They never got a dime or anything. They were volunteering in what they thought was helping. and just introducing and always saying, you know, you got to do your due diligence, you got to get a lawyer involved, this, that, and everything else. Sometimes there would just be, you know, just a piece of paper. She never met any of the families, so there was no vetting going on, but that was never her job to do that. You know, you would assume people would vet, but not if they're desperate to get rid of a problem child and somebody's desperate to get one. So unfortunately, this happens. And I just can't believe that there is an option. You know, it pisses me off that there's options for dogs. You know, if they don't get on. Now, I've taken that option in 24 hours when a dog went after one of my dogs, and I was like, listen, you said this dog gets along great with dogs. No, it doesn't, because my dog's very docile, and your dog, you know, all you had to do is throw a ball, and that was it, you know. So I couldn't have that in my home, but it was 24 hours. It wasn't somebody that I promised I would love forever and ever and ever. I said, you know, I want to make sure this is good and everything is good. And that's a dog. These are people that are taking in children and supposedly going to love them regardless. And then it becomes too difficult. Most children that are adopted are kind of broken. And especially if they're older, because they're dealing with, and they don't get past. I'm sorry, I've met a lot of adopted children. They don't get past being rejected by their mother. They just don't get past that. Now, you can tell somebody, of course, oh, you know, but you were picked by me. Like, I could pick all of the babies in the world and I picked you. Yes, but that comes second to being not picked by your biological mom. For whatever reason, there's never a reason good enough to a child to be unwanted. That's just my feeling about that. Go ask any adopted kid how they feel about their mom. So guys, also, well, I want to just show you some of this. Remember, this is a while ago, but it's still going on, unfortunately. So let's watch this.
250,000 children from other countries since the late 1990s, the clear majority of them adopted into loving homes. But what you're about to hear is the disturbing story of what can happen when things go wrong. In partnership with Reuters, our national correspondent Kate Snow has discovered a troubling underground world in which children are passed off with no one watching.
No oversight. There's no oversight, so there's nobody protecting a child who already has problems. And you know that they have to have a lot of problems for somebody to say, because that's got to be embarrassing. I can't handle the child. I've done everything I can. Anyway.
26-year-old Nora Gately had polio as a child. She was living in a Chinese orphanage. At 13, an American couple adopted her.
I was the luckiest girl in the world. That's what I felt like.
She moved to a nice home in the Florida Keys. But within a year, Nora says, things fell apart. One day, her mother told her she was going on a road trip with her father.
I just thought we was going out and just doing a daddy and daughter thing.
So, I mean, as far as she knows, she's not talking about any kind of falling out that happened between them or anything like that. It's just, oh God, you know, again, we don't keep, we just are, we live in a disposable society. Can I tell you, a disposable society.
Drove her to Tennessee, to the home of the Schmitz family.
He said, well, come back in a couple of years and pick you up. Not believed him.
Did you ever see him again?
Nope. Never.
So I just want you to think about that for a second, guys. 13 years old. Okay, she was in an orphanage until 8, right? So 13 years old, and your adopted dad says, hey, see you in a couple of years. Okay, I'll see you in a couple of years. Where, you know, a child who had a relationship with their dad would say, what do you mean? What do you mean a couple of, what are we talking about?
Not after 2 years.
Not to this day.
Not to this day.
She never saw the guy again.
She lived with 17 other children, many of whom arrived the same way Nora did. Their parents had gone on the internet looking to get rid of kids they'd adopted from
Get rid of kids. Yeah, that's a term. I wonder how proud you feel when that comes out of your mouth.
overseas. It's called rehoming.
This rehoming world is ripe for exploitation.
Over 18 months, Reuters reporter Megan Toohey examined an underground universe of chat rooms where desperate adoptive parents post notes about children they cannot care for.
She is scared and needs help with her.
Listen to how vulnerable they make the child that they're sharing with people they don't know. And it gets better. Wait.
Many worries that make it hard for her to fall asleep at night.
On one Yahoo site alone, just over 5,000 messages. Some explicitly reference a child's sexuality.
Now, why would you do that? Some sexual acting out. Why would you do that? Why, if it was your own child? I'm just going to ask. How many people do you think you would put that out about your own biological child?
Or say the child was previously abused.
They say Sandy's orphanage had a lack of supervision that allowed sexual behaviors with other children.
Who's going to want a young person who has that background?
Sex offender experts will tell you
that SOs want that type of child. SOs want that type of child. Now, mind you, they're not even doing background checks when it's the underground adoptions. They're not even really adoptions. They're just, hey, I got a bad kid over here. Yep. Yeah, take him off my head. You want to trade? It's ridiculous.
that these types of advertisements are a predator's dream come true.
This underground network exists with no oversight. Laws regarding adoption and guardianship vary from state to state.
Lots of times the child is transferred to the new family with nothing more than a power of attorney that says basically we're both signed by both parties and notarized. There's no government
Man, there's more paperwork in buying a car.
officials involved, no child welfare officials involved.
The family Nora was sent to was abusive. Nora says Deborah Schmitz would take her leg brace away as punishment and
Wow, that's terrible.
more than once told her to dig her own grave.
Wow. And these young people, I mean, how are they growing up, or what are they growing up to be in our society when they're treated so poorly? Like, what are their hopes and dreams? And I mean, when you beat somebody down, whether it be physically, emotionally, or mentally, I mean, you're beating them down to the ground, So every little step that we would consider low would be higher for them as they go to crawl up. So remember all those people that we consider low class, bad news, bad influences. They're going to be on the lower of the steps, whether they're trying to come up or go down. So somebody like this, a vulnerable person like this, is going to meet that person. Just think about that. We have more of a responsibility for children and for commitments, period.
Just get out and go dig your own grave. I don't care if you died. Nobody cares if nobody will find you. You were not even here in the first place.
When a visiting nurse, Sherry Dvorak, got suspicious, she gave Nora a tape recorder to document what was happening. That led to criminal charges and jail time for Schmitz.
Good.
Almost a decade later, Nora is speaking out to draw attention to this secret world of rehoming. She's found a new life and loving support from people like Sherry Dvorak.
People that love me, that care.
I'm grateful that there's good people in this world, but I mean, there's not as many as there used to be, I don't think.
About me, tell me they love me all the time.
There is another side to this story from families who find themselves overwhelmed and unprepared for the challenges of international adoption. And Brian, tomorrow,
Guys, is that not something? I mean, like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. about that. So I just wanted to read to you a little bit of what it is so that we know. A private adoption, also known as independent adoption or private placement adoption, is a direct agreement between expectant birth parents and prospective adoptive parents to place a child without an adoption agency. In this process, adoptive parents are pre-certified through a home study. A court orders the adoption, and an attorney often facilitates the agreement between the parties. Okay, so this private adoptions, fine. Private adoptions, fine. Rehoming. Rehoming children, which refers to the illegal transfer of a child's custody outside of legal and court oversight, is an unsafe, dangerous, and illegal practice that puts children at risk of abuse, neglect, and human trafficking. If a parent is unable to care for their child, there are safe and legal alternatives to ensure the child finds a secure and loving home. So some of these people, again, they might be giving away their kid for money. They don't want to admit to a police officer or an authority that they're a shit parent and have no patience, because what's that look like? You might not be able to get another kid. There's a lot of things, but the whole problem exists in the person that wants to get rid of the kid. The dangers and illegality, the dangers and illegality of rehoming. Significant emotional harm. Illegally transferring a child's custody disrupts their stability and can cause severe emotional harm, particularly for children who have already experienced trauma. And most kids that are being adopted, they've gone through trauma, unfortunately. Risk of ABUSE and trafficking. Because rehoming is done without supervision from child welfare agencies, the child can be placed with individuals who have not undergone proper vetting, putting them at serious risk. So I do have to say that even though the person I spoke to has called themselves stupid, I mean, and not thinking that maybe there is another market for a kid out there, they were of bigger age. The fact that they said that they never thought about it, I give people the benefit of the doubt. They weren't making any money. They are not able, they aren't penalized in any way, shape, or form. They have adopted kids after and such, but we can't afford to be stupid when it comes to children, because they're counting on us. They're counting on us. So I wanted to bring this to your attention, guys. I wanted to open up a discussion about it. What do you think? Is it something you want me to go into? Would you like me to do a second part on this? I might be able to bring somebody up on the channel to talk about it. It's up to you guys. Let me know in the comments. Just a little something besides Gypsy Rose Blanchard. All right, guys. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. I thank you so much. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. And I'll go into the shower and mess with my hair. All right, guys. Take care. Thank you.